Welcome everyone to the Junkman's Adventures. Welcome ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, coming to you live through the power of the internet. Well, I thank you for joining in. We got the chat window up here, so say hello in the chat and we'll be taking some questions tonight. We're going to tell some stories. I got a special guest that'll be on just a bit later here. Well, let's do some house cleaning here, just give you an update to the channel, some of the stuff I'm doing. Right now, as you can see, I have one of my brand new t-shirts. If you follow me on other social media, you've seen the link where you can buy these, clean your car, helps support the channel, helps bring you more live streams just like this. And there's a link in the description of this video for you guys watching right now, and then the archive stream. You go down there, you can buy these and some other designs that I have up there. Like I said, I don't make a lot off of them, but it's a way for you to support the channel and get something for yourself. So another thing I want to mention is the little $sign down there in the chat box. That's the super chat. You can donate directly there if you'd like. Of course, you never have to do that. The other thing I want to update you on is some of my toy restorations. I'm working on one now. I posted some pictures to the community tab on my channel, so you can go check them out there. Also to Twitter and everything like that. So I'm working on that. I have the video half edited, but the project isn't completely finished. So I'll update you with that, and look for that video coming soon. I think you'll like it. It's kind of a challenging project. That's why it's kind of taken so long. But it's kind of like the Structo telephone truck, but a lot more complicated, a lot more parts and pieces. And I'm going to have to do a little bit of fabrication and foundry work a little bit with it. Well, anyway, getting that out of the way, I am going to open it up, bring into my guest, and here we go.
Can you hear me over there?
Yeah, we sure can.
Oh, okay.
We can hear you. And I don't know why my video's not working. Oh, there we go. Got the video up. This is my first time doing one of these kind of interviews. But anyway, this is my best friend in the whole wide internet right now.
Internet, yes.
Anyway, we've known each other for a long time, and I wanted to bring him on here and talk about. You see a little video that's I got to remember which way I'm pointing, down there, of one of his pickups. We called it the Mighty Nissan. We're going to talk about that, but let's first get started here. First, I want to introduce you. Like I said, we met a long time ago, but you're originally from a small town outside of Kansas City, Missouri, right? Remind me?
Yes.
Odessa? Is that right? Odessa,
Yep.
Missouri? Okay, so if I have anybody out there or in and around that area, you ought to know. But anyway, we'll fast forward. I forget, when did we meet? What was it, like 5th grade, 6th grade? You came to town, something like that.
It was Ehlers, I believe.
Yep. So 6th
I don't
grade.
remember what grade it was.
6th grade then. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we met that way, and let's see, what were we? We would have been about 13, something like that. 12, 13. I don't know. We didn't really.
Or 12.
Yeah. As I remember, we didn't really start hanging out till maybe like junior high or something. And of course, just for those that aren't from the area, we could get learners at the time. That's changed, I think, right? We could get learners permits at age like 14 and such. So where I'm going with this is kind of getting into your first vehicle. Now, what was your first ever vehicle?
The first one I had, was that green flatbed.
Oh,
that
right, the old green
F-350.
Yeah, well.
You remember the one that when it would stop smoking, I'd pour a gallon of oil in it?
Yes.
And then dry it when it stopped smoking?
Yeah, no, that was the green truck, the green Ford, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one with the broken front frame rail that we got to do wheelies in.
Right, and also the
Do
wasn't it the shifter was so worn out that first gear and
Yes.
third gear
Yes.
you mashed the dash. I mean, it had to throw like a semi. I mean, and I'm not kidding, folks.
First dash in reverse hit the seat. Loretto.
Oh, right, right. I remember that. We're getting a little bit of lag here, but
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the audio for me.
yeah. Well, we might have to kill the video because that might.
Hold on.
Get a little bit of.
Fix it. I'll fix it.
Okay, we might have
Is
to
that
kill the
better?
video. We'll just have audio. This is my first
All
time
right.
doing this, folks.
I'll just assume you can hear me then.
Yep. Nope. I hear you fine, and it may cut in and out. So sorry, folks, if we have a little technical difficulties here and there. Looks like we've got about 4 to 7 people in here, somewhere in there. Kind of goes up and down. Anyway, get back. We got the green. We got the green truck. Those long throw shifters. That thing was barely street legal. Remember, as far as I remember. I mean, it was street legal. It's just it wouldn't pass any safe. Like.
Well, I mean, it was just a broken front. It wasn't where the wishbone connected in the middle. You backed up would separate. But I can't read the comments because I can only see it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to feed them to you. We got one of my YouTube friends, Furworks YT, who says, "Yo, he's one of my viewers, kind of from the Garage Journal. He's a car guy, so he'll enjoy some of this. Tell me a little more about this pickup. This what was it, an 84, 85? Well, it had been 85 because it's when they changed the body style.
Oh, it was an 80. So it was the square one, the first square one.
Right. And what engine did it have in it?
88 block 351 in.
Okay, that's right.
You know, it had 380,000 miles on it, and the little ball on the end of the shifter was pretty well gone. At one point, I did pull it out and build it up with the welder, and then grind it all back pretty, and put it in there, and then it drove somewhat reasonable.
I guess
I had to put the screwdriver in the shifter house and push down on the little. Right. There was the throttle for like 40 or 50 times.
That's right. There was no lock cylinder. That's right. So yeah, just a screwdriver. So that's very secure, right? Yeah. But now I do remember this. We put heads on.
Sure there was no compression either.
Yeah. Well, didn't we try to, or you tried to fix that? Got some junk.
No,
junk
we didn't. We taken that.
Let's kill the video. Let's kill the video. See if we get better audio, because I'm getting some choppy audio on my end, and we'll see if that helps the internet connection. And it could be my end as far as that goes.
I have to buy on such a ridiculous close up here.
Furwork says, I think the screwdriver start was pretty common. All my dad's cool cars were screwdriver starts. This is a Ford, and I have a video actually repairing the rack, the little rack and pinion thing that operates that rod that goes down your column. So he knows what I'm talking. He knows what we're talking about here. But those heads, we replaced the heads. Now, those just were junkyard heads, right?
I don't on that. I know we put an intake.
Well, I remember, or something, or did we just replace the rockers? Because I just remember replacing those rockers and then starting it up for the first time because they were worn out. And wasn't it either the push rods too long or something. But it was clicking to beat all hell because it was rockering it because those I think some people knows that they're those pressed steel type, right? And they were rocking past where the originals were worn, right? Was that something like that?
If you remember, when we were doing it, so odds play. And you were like trying to fight to get this door open because Dad says like go out there. They're in a coffee can, like past the drill press, right corner left at the pipe wrenches on the.
So they didn't match up. Because those kind of have like a. Because those had kind of a stud, right? And like a half moon type that held them.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I basically had only worked on my Mopars, which of course have rocker shafts, totally different setup. Yeah, I remember that. I just couldn't remember where we got all that, or where those heads.
Did you see that before I got fat?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're watching the video down there, we'll get to that. So, what other things can you remember about? What other things can you remember about that old green truck?
Oh, I drove home one time with the front drive shaft spinning and some bail. The unit exploded.
Hang on, we're cutting out here. I think. Let's try restarting this call. Maybe we'll get a better connection here. Sorry, folks, we're having a little bit of technical.
Hang up on me.
Yeah. Oh, and then we'll call back here. All right. Sorry, folks. Let's restart this. Quality of the call is terrible. Let's call him back here. Technical difficulties. Let's see if it'll work here. See, I should stop streaming and then do this again, but okay. And we have to try it again. I'm gonna have to resize the window here. Come on. But anyway, old Furworks, if you're still in here, how's your new video camera you're using there? Because I've been following you on Twitter and seeing that it either got a new camera or you're having troubles with yours. They're not getting. Well, I've been Furworks is I'm talking about some tweets because I follow him over on Twitter, which you should too. Some of his tweets are pretty funny. I don't know. I wasn't following it very well. Oh, you're just trying some new stuff. I thought there was like a firmware update, and it wasn't quite working right. Was that the deal? Yeah, well, I don't know if that's you. Yeah, the bug with the live setup, is that, yeah. I'm guessing that's what you were tweeting about. Okay, the HDMI out for the camera into the video game. Okay, so So is that for like you're gonna do using it for a face cam? I guess I'm not understanding the the setup there. All right. Okay, well, they're just going to do a regular call here. Troubleshooting on the air, folks. Oh, okay, I got you. Using it for streaming. Okay, yeah. I'm using actually a Logitech C9 950 or 9. I don't know. It's a pretty popular one, and I haul it out to the garage. I couldn't do this stream because I needed to be wired for this. And we're just having a problem here. Let's see. All right, I have to tell him to hop on and just try audio. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Maybe we got a better connection. Seems like it's better. Otherwise, we can just try the audio. Okay. Well,
Yes.
yeah, there we go. Maybe we'll just try the audio. Maybe it'll work a little better here. Well, anyway, we'll move along from the green truck. Let's. What was the next vehicle that you had? Was that that red C10 short box Chevy?
Yeah, the red.
Now,
the red 84 short.
Now, yeah, where did that one come from? Because I don't remember.
You know, I want to say Dad bought that off of Dusty Roads. Because remember, he bought a 10-year newer one just like it.
Oh, right, okay.
And Dusty was working for the old man at the time, and he had burned the motor up in it.
Okay.
And so Dad bought a reasonable with no motor, and then so we put the first one in.
Right.
And remember, you and I took it out that day and tacked it to 60.
Oh yeah,
and said,
yeah,
here.
well, definitely banging off the red light.
Yeah.
Which incidentally, folks, not to cut you off here, that's where your CB handle came in, and that's actually red line 350 and then 353. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, this guy, if the engine isn't running, it's on the red line. That's this guy's MO, and that's going to come up longer in this conversation. But anyway, yes, I was with you at that time. So.
All right. Still trying to get this sound figured out.
No, we got good connection here now. So, but
I'm missing some of you off of the Skype call.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I wondered, if this internet connection wasn't going to.
Because it's
But well, anyway, let's explain how come. I'll just tease it out there. There was ended up being 3 motors going through that truck in a very short period of time. Kind of walk us through those. Walk us through.
No, not true.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But correct. That was my first 350. Anyway, that day we went out and cranked it up good and went sliding. It melted a piston, is why it was knocking when we pulled into the driveway with a broken tie rod end.
Aha. Right. I thought it was only the tie rod end, but no, that's right. Rod knock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that was you there for that.
Yep. I do remember.
Right. Well, when we had got it, it ran shitty. And so Dad bought a carburetor off of a guy, and one of the metering rods or something had fallen out of it, and so it melted a piston.
Okay, well, it got lean and yeah.
I mean, probably it would have survived longer if it wasn't turning 8,000, but
Yeah,
still, it melted a piston. So it wasn't entirely my fault. The one after it that we put in later, oh no, I take that back. The one that melted the piston was the second one. The first one we put in it, Dusty and them had put together for it.
Okay.
And, well, they tried to stroke it, and they got it wrong somehow. And the pistons were touching the plug.
Yeah, and they were mashing the caps, the electrodes.
So you could never get the thing to run quite right. And so ultimately it turned a rod pretty quick. And then I got the one that melted the piston.
Now were these same
that one went.
Was these same blocks?
Okay, so
did the block ever change or no?
Oh yeah, junkyard motor every time.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because I only put the two in it. The first one that was wrong, and then the second one that the carburetor melted. Well, so the second one, Dad traded it for that fucking long-nosed ass Buick that we had. That brown Buick. The one we burned the spare off on.
Oh, right. Well, the Regal. No, not the Regal.
Yeah, the Regal.
Okay,
the 80 Regal.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I busted a head on that one.
Did that?
And then I think shortly after that, it turned a rod as well.
Yeah, and that had.
And then that wasn't actually a 350. It was that.
Explain to the folks out in internet land what engine that had in there, because most people may not be familiar with it, because it wasn't a 305 and it wasn't a 350 like most GMs. I think most GMs would have.
It was a 301 Olds.
Yeah, it was an actual Olds engine.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a turd.
Well,
like the thing was always giving me trouble and breaking down. I remember we drove it to Kearney once. It was horrifying. Like I wasn't sure we were getting back.
Well, we made it back. It was after dark. We made it back.
Yeah. I mean, we made it back, and it only died a couple of times and ate a shit ton of fuel. But
yeah, well, speaking of fuel, I was thinking about that earlier before we got into this. I do remember gas had just kind of ticked over $1 a gallon at that time. I remember it was on its first ramp up, because I can remember it was just.
You make a sense.
Well, I know that's the thing I was thinking about and I can distinctly remember, seeing, premium was like $1.10. Okay, no, you wouldn't use that, but it was just over $1, right? Because I remember when it was 99, 98, 95, in those areas. That was, before I was driving, kind of, but I remember when it kicked over $1, and I remember everybody just losing their shit over it. But so gas was cheap. But when you have no money, that's $1 a gallon still expensive.
It didn't have no money. I remember when I used to drive the mighty Nissan from Harlan County to Odessa, and you go into Paddington's with a $20 bill, fill the truck, buy a Mountain Dew, and drive it all the way there.
Yeah, well, but see, but here's the thing:
on the highway,
but at Paddington's, you were still getting ripped off because half that tank of gas was water.
Yeah. The little truck, it didn't like it very well.
Well, but see, it ran on, dirty mud water. If folks out there are watching the video down in the bottom of the screen there, you'll see it ran on some water.
Okay, I don't know the people in your group at all, but I'm guessing the one about us not being able to wander around the house, I know.
Yeah. That's Katie.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
That's that's also my moderator too. And yes, I guess we could go off topic there. I don't know. Nikki has to bother. For those out there in the internet land, that's his wife, Nikki, and my wife is moderating the chat here. Anyway, I wander around and pace while we talk for our short 3-hour conversations. I don't know about
It's
you.
terrible. I've been in Portland all this time, and pretty much all I've done is been on the phone because the wife, we talk a lot, and then I talk to Dad, I talk to you some, and I just sort of catch up with
Right.
everybody I haven't talked to in a while because I've got nothing better to do, and I wander the city. I found a really great local bar the other day and had the best cheeseburger I've had in a long time. I was pretty happy about that.
Wow, is it this in walking distance, or did you grab an Uber or something?
I don't have Uber. I'm way too hillbilly for that. No, I've been in public transit since I've been here.
Okay.
I decided to
Hey,
experience
that's
the
big.
local
That's
culture
big
that
time.
way.
That's big time for someone like you. Actually, those out there who are watching, I know you have seen the little bit of video I have of the LUV. So this is the type of guy.
Well,
This is the type of guy you're listening to right now.
I turned it into sort of a kind of personal social experiment. I decided rather than going touristy while I'm here this time, I brought my work clothes from home that I wear in my garage that are covered in filth and stains and grease, and my old ass hoodie with the torn pocket. And I haven't shaved since January, and I look pretty homeless. And so I wandered the city with my backpack from work with the pocket half ripped off of it. And I wandered the city as that guy. And it's pretty interesting.
Now, see, it's too bad I couldn't have given you a GoPro and you hide it on your person somewhere and just see the looks you get.
Well, and generally I had the earbuds in and was on the phone, so probably I looked like I was talking to myself too. But you get in the nice part of town, and like people hide their kids from me. And then I was walking downtown, and like some guy tried to buy drugs off me. I was like, no. He asked for something. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But I'm like, no, man. And he just kind of walked away. I was like, phew, that was easy.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going. I'm not going to walk around down here no more. I got the hiccup out of Dodge.
That's funny.
Hey, can you replace the little truck with my window? That way I can, since I'm watching it on the phone.
What do you mean?
Well,
yes, I can.
The screen.
Yeah.
The videos at the bottom. Can you trade them for me?
Well, yeah, I can make it a little bigger. There we go.
That's better. Now I can at least see it.
Actually,
it's a shame we do it on a day when we put them tracks all the way up.
Well, that's the thing. We never went back with the camera, and I'll tell people out there in internet land who don't follow me enough. This was videotaped. We shot this with my old VHS-C. So I mean, while it was a compact VHS, still about yay big of a camera, and weighed about 4 pounds, 5 pounds. I mean, convenient but not convenient. So what we have here is a miracle, and why we went out on a day like this, I have no clue, but we did. And anyway, shooting with that thing. I was gonna say anyway, shooting with what I'm trying to say is shooting with that thing. It wasn't just like grab and go like today with a GoPro and such. But yeah, because I think on a better day we might have eventually made it up that, except for maybe the bumper height on that. Because
I kind of want to take my Stacy out there and try it at some point.
Well,
my Stacy, I guess, for those who don't know, is my 03 track that I put the 5-liter in.
Yeah, well, I thought you nicknamed that the Stranger, because it's kind of a Ranger.
Well, it got shortened to Stacy. Don't ask me how, but that's the way it ended up.
Okay. Because what we're watching here, what you're watching over here is the mighty Nissan, and I guess let's explain that. Now where did you pick this up at? Because honestly, that's the thing. I don't distinctly remember where you picked that up at.
Okay, so after the car, Dad actually found me that.
Yeah,
and
so you were about
he picked that up in Hastings, I believe.
Just to put the timeline in
Some
thing.
backyard car lot.
Were you 16 at the time now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
15.
I think 15, 16.
Yeah, I believe so.
So
Yeah.
had to have been 16 because I guess we did take the Olds or the Regal Buick to Kearney. So you had to have had your actual license by the time. Okay, so we're 16 years old right now. I'm a little older than you, but not much. So we're basically 16 years old, more or less.
No, you're like 50, you old man.
But anyway, so okay, you picked it up. Was it as a farm sale or a farm auction or something like that, or?
No, it was one of them little fucking lots on the side of the highway as you come into Hastings.
Okay.
Like right there on the side as you come into town, you know, one of them lots where they got junk like that.
Okay. Which is, yeah, which.
And at that time, Lance had started with Dad, and he had the little Toyota version. And I kind of wanted a Toyota, but Dad found a good buy on this, so I got a Nissan instead.
Well, yeah.
Which worked out to be just great.
Well, yeah, we had, I mean, you had a hell of a lot of fun. We had a hell of a lot of fun in it. But, yeah, the Toyota, I do remember you distinctly saying something about the Toyota because, you know, at the time, the Toyota would have had the solid front axle rather than this IFS, which you can go into some stories why that IFS was kind of a hindrance, as well as that skid plate for the fuel pump. You know, I think you know where I'm going with that. It just pushed mud, you know. We're watching.
I think your wife's calling us names.
Yeah, I see that in the chat there.
Right.
Oh, hey, no way, jerk. Thanks for joining us. Let's back up for some new viewers I see have popped in here. Talking with a longtime friend I've known since 6th grade, and we've kept in touch. I mean, we kind of grew up together, went to college kind of together, and then we started our families, but always kind of kept up. And I wanted to have him on here. This is kind of a test stream for doing interviews like this over Skype. And anyway, we're talking about some of his vehicles as we kind of grew up together. So anyway, going back to our conversation here, just getting everybody up to speed.
I feel like you're trying to explain my madness. I see where I can be entertaining, though.
Well, you tell these stories better than I do, and because you're sometimes the source of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I sort of blame you a little bit for the time we had to run away from Fort Kearney because we lit a campsite on fire. But, I mean, outside of that, really it was my fault.
Well,
I can admit
you
that.
had the bottle rockets, but all our wood was wet because, remember, it downpoured. And so we're like, well, how are we going to start this with gasoline and nobody's going to go near this thing?
Yeah, 4 gallons was probably too much. Or 3. I know it was a lot. And it was on the picnic table and most of the yard.
We dumped it into that Mountain Dew bottle and dumped it out there and then threw it in there and it trailed back. But
I kind of remember walking around with the gas can.
Yeah.
But I missed the little trip.
Yeah. Hey, no way. The reason why you can't see him is his internet. He's in a hotel room actually in Portland right now. And we couldn't get it working with the video, so we just have audio. Just kind of explaining that. Somebody was asking in the chat why they didn't see it.
Yeah, I see that. I'm trying to read it on my phone.
I know. We're kind of doing this the Bojankety way, the internet redneck way, which is the way. Actually, if people knew my setup that I do for in the garage and here, I'm sitting in my easy chair, they'd laugh. People who do this for like real and make YouTube like a career would like laugh at me. So while it's high tech compared to what we're talking about, this is really redneck live streaming actually, the way I have this set up. But anyway, we'll get back to that.
That's good. That's how I like to operate.
So, but yeah, that old Nissan. Yeah, that. Not in this video, because like I said, this is the only video I have of this truck. But where was it? What did we hit? Hit something, bent that skid plate all up, and it was bent down, so it was just scooping mud. This was before the ball tires, of course, too. But
Oh no, that was you're talking about in the rear end.
well, yeah, I remember. You know, it
Because,
had that skid
yeah,
plater that for the fuel pump.
yeah, no, that was that was the day we broke both motorcycles at Jesse's,
Right,
and
we
so
were
we tried.
bored. Yeah.
We took the truck wheeling, and you know we found that cool little rock valley thing, and we crawled through it, and then we went through the ditch where the windmill runs over.
Right.
And
Yeah,
if
because
you
we went
remember,
out.
we went
Yeah.
through the mud, and we pushed all that metal out at the back end, but then it wouldn't climb the wet grassy hill, so we had to figure out how to get your damn little gray S10 out back there.
Oh yeah.
Or was that a Ranger?
No, that was
The little gray truck that you drove.
that would have been the S10. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have been
that
the
was
S10.
yeah. It had the little Iron Duke thing that made about 7 horsepower.
two-wheel drive. Yeah, it made about 7
Yeah,
horsepower. Two-wheel drive, 4-speed, not even the 5-speed. So 60 mile an hour,
Yeah.
it was zinging. You know.
Well, you know that thing actually, little off topic, but that thing was actually slightly better than. Do you remember the white diesel Ranger that we had?
Oh yeah.
Remember Zach drove it forever.
Yeah.
Because Zach was working for Dad then, and so Dad sort of loaned him a car for a couple of months.
Yeah, but that at least had
'Cause,
four-wheel
you
drive.
know.
That at least had 4-wheel drive.
No, it didn't. It was 2-wheel drive, 4-speed. It'd run 65 mile an hour flat on the governor. And that's provided it wasn't uphill or into a headwind. That thing was a turd.
Well,
And the starter went out.
I will admit that Iron Duke had, for what it was, a little 2.5 liter push rod 4-cylinder, had a lot of low end torque for what it is, you know. But
Dad actually pulled the Bobcat with that Ranger once, but the starter went out of it, and that starter doesn't exist anymore at the time. And so to replace it basically was going to cost more than the truck did. So he would pull start it in the morning and then shut it off when he got home at night, and it would idle all day long.
And
in the winter. But you know, it still got like 30 miles a gallon. It was great on fuel.
Speaking of parts and replacing, this thing was kind of a cluster of things. Because for one thing,
no, it was.
Well, no, remember,
it was
alternator, you know, power steering pump, you know, those were cobbed from something else, built a bracket. Well, and for one thing, this is a Nissan Datsun 720 front end, but it has the D21 box on it because, see, that's the thing.
Well, it came out. I didn't do that.
But you said somebody probably swapped it because they probably rolled it or something, which, right?
Well, in fact, I ran into at one point a previous owner of that, and yeah, it's been over once, I think, is what they had said.
Which no wonder it tore the box off.
Specifications were genius.
Yeah, but okay, the you know, rag for the gas cap and the filler. That's the thing. That's why it had to have the wrong box because the fuel filler was inside the bed in the wheel well.
Well.
Right?
What
was the story
they
there?
had Bondo whole set.
Oh.
They were going to shave handles and stuff too, and just never got that far.
on a Nissan Hardbody. I mean, this and folks, this is before.
Think about it. It came from Hastings.
Well, right, but let me put this in context for younger viewers and even the older viewers. This is kind of before all that that little mini sport truck thing was a thing. Like I said, the Fast and Furious stuff hadn't happened yet, so nobody was really driving rice rockets around as much.
Yeah, this was in the 90s. This film here.
Right. This is well in the this is in their
probably
mid 90s.
98.
Yeah, sometime mid to towards like probably about 96 or 97, based on our ages, something like that. But yeah, well, it wasn't this day, was it? Where it started running crappy, and we're wondering. So you popped the hood and found air cleaner on the other side of the engine bay, and mud and water more or less boiling.
No, that happened actually. If you remember, the low spot you had to drive through at the Ring of Fire to get down there. You know, when you went down Old Methodist and turned right.
Right.
We went swamping through there, and it died in the middle of the fucking puddle. We didn't get it on film, and I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure you were with me. But, yeah, I know you were.
No, we were south.
But, yeah,
we
were
south.
As long as you crawled through it super slow, it'd stay running.
But we were south of the lake, though, because I remember we were on, not Road 9, but, you know, those roads that go there.
No, I think the first time it happened was in that puddle, but, like, here it did it again, actually, in this video, because for some reason it became sort of a chronic issue. It would just do that occasionally. Like it never did it for 2 years, and then one day it's like, oh, the breather's going to fall off every other week.
Yeah.
And
this kind of had
damn thing twice.
Well, this kind of had that electric carburetor, because this is in kind of that switchover year before they went full EFI with at least a throttle body,
I'm pretty sure I had unplugged all that shit.
Well, I
know.
It
was still just here, but yeah. I remember I cut a fistful of vacuum lines out of it.
Yeah. And probably
a whole lot of little caps.
And one of the washer nozzles, because...
Oh, no, the washer nozzle thing was the white Datsun.
Well, this one, I thought only had the one, because remember, we only have the one wiper, which you can actually see in the video plan.
Right.
We got some comments going here. Furworks YT says, my first car would go about 45-mile-an-hour pegged. You could take it on the expressway. I suspect the transmission was already shot when I got it, and it wouldn't get out of third gear. Hey, Furworks, what model car was that? And then we have somebody else here who says that all the Ranger gears would work, just the... Okay, so he had a Ranger that went, 300-something thousand miles. So,
the Rangers were good, actually.
Well, I don't remember. I don't know if you remember. We had a.
Then they put the 4-liter in them, and the 4-liter was exceptional. But then they put that stupid overhead cam crap heads on the old motor, and the timing chain parts were just shit. And then they weren't very good anymore. And that's why I put the 5-liter back in the Sport Track.
Okay.
Early Rangers were kicking.
said his was a '92 Corolla DX, and just to that point, where we grew up and where this video is happening for those out there, Japanese vehicles like this Nissan here was an oddity. I mean, people just didn't buy Japanese vehicles. I mean, there was no dealers anywhere.
Not that part of the world so much.
I mean, it's changed nowadays, but I mean, back then, pre-internet. I mean, this is basically pre-internet, so everybody scared of where do you get parts, because your local parts store, well, they can order anything in. They weren't gonna have something on the shelf for you, especially with a Toyota Corolla. I mean, there was occasionally you'd see a Honda driving around or something, but that's about it. But yeah, Japanese vehicles and such just weren't much of a thing in our area, especially growing up. Because as you remember, where we grew up, it was about 15 years behind the times, anyways. So.
Yeah. When this bit of video was taken with the one wiper, I had the Blue Z. And this would have been 2001.
Oh, yeah, the video, exactly. Yeah.
Or 2000. This would have been late 2000.
Right.
Actually,
we would have actually been in college by this time. That's right.
Yes, because that jerk at college broke my wiper off.
Right.
And didn't fix it.
Right. But you drove this all through high school.
So I kind of didn't care. I loaned it to a guy and he fucked it up.
Yeah. Well, I think you've loaned this vehicle to a few people, and it's changed hands a lot as well.
Well, it served me well, and I'd like to see it go on and help somebody if it can.
Yeah, and we were talking about this off camera, offline here a while ago. I am not sure where it ended up. I mean, I know the last place it was, but I think it's gone to the scrap heap, unfortunately, because you had eventually pulled the motor because the motor finally,
Well,
did it throw a rod, did something, but because I remember you had the front end torn off.
yeah, I think the head was off of it or something, or maybe it spun a bearing. I don't know, something like basically the 4-cylinder was dying. Because I remember driving it in to take it out, but it was anyway. I had that 300Z that the back end had rotted out from under,
Yeah.
and so I decided I was going to pull that 3-liter out of the Z car and put.
But that was
in
the
pickup.
brown one. That was the brown Z, right?
Yeah, I was driving the Blue Z. I'm sorry, that's right. Yeah, we pulled it out of the brown one, the automatic.
Right. Yeah.
And I got the motor and transmission actually set in the frame rails, and all I had to make was a drive shaft to hook up to the 4-wheel drive, and it would have been finished. And then, get a fuel pump and the computer in it. And somebody come through and robbed my car, stole my T-tops, like starter, alternator, PCM, most of the wiring, some other shit. So by the time I replaced it all, I could have just bought a small block Chevy and been done with it.
Yeah.
For $1,000, it ended up. So I just give up on it. And so when I give it to Jeff, it had that 3-liter setting in it. It just, I suppose if you could have put a carburetor on it, a distributor in it, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
If somebody, it was that little belt-driven overhead cam. I don't know that anybody made parts for it.
Yeah.
It could have been work, but it really just wasn't worth the effort at that point.
And
then shortly after that, I moved. That's why I gave it to Jeff, is because I didn't have anywhere to bring it. I just didn't have anywhere to. I couldn't take it with me.
Yeah, I didn't have any way to get it. Yeah, because moved. That's the thing.
I was in Dad's basement at the lake. He had like a lot. It was
because I remember it was across the street there, from the lot for a while, where the boats, where he stored the boat and stuff. Yeah, I do remember all that. Tell us about the. You can see one little piece in here. I should have edited in. I do have one little other clip that's like maybe 30 seconds long, but you see hitting a fence post, and that I'm glad we at least have that, because that was things like that. Ramming stuff was kind of a pastime with this. Right?
Where's the we ran over in Juniata?
I just didn't edit it into there. I forgot. It's another clip on another hard drive, and
that one I always thought was funny because it was utterly pointless. It was in my driveway.
Yeah.
We got a 1.5 foot a run at it, and it just broke.
And people who want to go watch that, it's on my channel, but I just didn't put it into this little mix-up here, because I mainly got.
Oh, do people really want to go watch that?
Well, I don't know. It's got 6,000 or 7,000 views.
Really?
Actually, let me go check it out here while we're talking. I want to steer clear. I want to steer a little bit clear of some of those stories, but we can talk about a little bit of the redneckedness of instead of living in the dorms, the trailer house you lived in college. And it segues in, because didn't you tow that 40-foot or however long them damn things are trailer house with this thing?
No.
Well, how'd you get it on the lot, or was it on the lot? I thought you had to move that from
the trailer.
Yeah, the old.
No, I hired a guy for that.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
No, we had that done.
Okay.
I've helped move some for some other people, but no, that one we just paid somebody. Because Dad wasn't up around there, we didn't have the trucks anymore. Like, all the equipment was gone by then.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise we would have just took the water truck up there and set it on the bumper and fucking drug it over there. Wouldn't have been no big deal.
Well, yeah. I guess we talked about the Diamond T. Yeah.
yeah, the Diamond T. Which one?
Well, yeah. Well, or thing I remember was that, wasn't that like an F700 that the boom truck with no brakes?
Which one now?
Which one was the boom truck? Wasn't that like an F700? That was
Oh, it was a 650.
Okay, 650. Well, but it was like a
Yeah.
seven. Well, no, it was. Was it in
It was a
the?
650 with four-wheel drive, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't that new because in the 650
Oh, it was a
designations.
76.
Okay. Well, anyways, that had no brakes, and I just remember.
It had brakes most of the time.
I'm trying to find that. For whatever reason, I can't find it right now. But yeah, anyway, this video on YouTube here has about 8,000 views.
Anybody want to hear about anything in particular?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, anybody out there, and you got any questions? Actually, Derek here. He's a well. I suppose you still have your ASC certifications, but anyway, auto mechanic, and you know a lot about the more modern stuff. You're in a different industry now, but you definitely cut your teeth in that for a while. So if anybody's kind of got a little, you know, automotive questions, let's see. Oh shoot, I'm having trouble with the chat.
I think you broke it.
Yeah, I see the chat's disconnected. Probably because I'm just pushing so much through my internet connection right now. I actually turned down the bit rate a little bit for this, but let me see here.
I won't guarantee the internet at my house is any better. At least there I know where I can pace around at.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I can't.
I'd go outside and wander, but I don't know how far the Wi-Fi in the hotel is going to go.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, it's trying to reconnect. Well, sorry, folks. Looks like the chat's down for something. I'm wondering if that's a YouTube problem, not really my. That's actually a YouTube problem because all my back end stats say we're running just fine. So.
I'm sure they'll
Anyway,
fix it in a minute.
but I mean, we're creeping up on an hour here. That's about all longer I generally stream here. So, and because we're having some technical difficulties, but it was fun. I kind of was tweaking some of my settings as we were talking here, so I'll know better for the next time. But and you probably want to get off to bed or something. And for some people, especially on the East Coast, it's awful probably late for them. So anyway, we'll probably chat at you later, and since the chat's broken, I can't interact with anybody. So I think we'll cut this short. Yeah. Well, actually, this worked pretty good. And hopefully maybe we'll do it again sometime. And for all you guys out there, my viewers, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Please comment. Tell me if you like it when I do these kind of things, what you'd like to see. I have some ideas for some other guests that I'd like to have on, and do kind of the similar thing. Hopefully their internet connections are a little more reliable than a hotel internet connection. But anyways, that's about it, folks. I'll just leave you with hit that subscribe button and make sure you click that bell to enable notifications, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Wait, one last thing.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.
We're not that old yet, and Katie gives me hell whenever we go to Hobby Lobby and they have those old guys rule T-shirts and signs and shit. And I keep asking her, am I old enough yet to buy that stuff? And she tells me no. So
I've just been watching a lot of Red Green in my free time.
You know, I need to find a place to stream that. I mean, it's on the PBS still, but you know, I'd rather binge watch that kind of show. I've seen them all, but still, it never gets old.
Yeah, I've seen them all, but when I'm sitting here in the hotel, like trying to sleep, I like to watch it then. You know.
Yeah.
I've seen it, so I don't have to really pay attention, but it's still sort of.
Yep. Okay. Well. Yep. YouTube has the chat broken. I don't know why it says no internet connection, because I obviously have an internet connection. So anyway, cutting the stream short. This video will be up probably in a few hours, archived, and comment below. Check out my link if you want a t-shirt, and we'll see ya.